Hey, wanted to reach out to you, and there's been a lot of talk over the last couple of months about helping underwater homeowners refinance. The HARP program that was put out by the government, HARP, the Homeowner Affordability Refinance Plan, had some major changes back in October of 2011, revisions to help more underwater homeowners refinance. I wanted to bring you up to date on what's going on with that because we're right around the corner from the major changes actually being released. March 19th will be the important date that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac will update their underwriting engines so that we have, doesn't that sound, start your engines. The underwriting engines of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are updated on March 19th, and we will now have in place the rules that we can follow to help underwater homeowners. Now remember, HARP, the Homeowner Affordability Refinance Plan that was put out by the White House back in 2009, at the first release of this, only allowed homeowners that were 5 and in some cases 25% upside down to refinance. Well, with this new revision, now you're able to refinance unlimited upside down. So you could take a person today that has a $200,000 mortgage and their home value, let's just say, is only worth $130,000. Even though they're upside down by some 35%, would be allowed to do the refinance. And in the Chicagoland area, that's about what we've seen from 2006 to present. The Case-Shiller Home Price Index has showed Chicago with a 35% dip, and unfortunately, Chicago is still dipping a little bit more with some recent statistics that I even saw today. So we are underwater with a lot of people. Again, underwater home just meaning that you owe more on your mortgage than your house is currently worth. But these new revisions out by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac could help us. Now, I'm required by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac to read this, so let me make sure I read it, that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac have adopted changes to the Home Affordability Refinance Program, the HARP program, and you may be eligible to take advantage of these changes. If your mortgage is owned, and here's what's key, if your current mortgage is owned or guaranteed by either Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, you will be eligible to refinance your mortgage under these enhanced and expanded provisions of HARP. You need to determine if your mortgage is owned by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac by going to the following two websites. I'll go ahead and post those here so that you can check, or just simply reach out to me. I'll do it really quickly for you. I know how to get there and do that for you. But the key here is that your current mortgage has to be owned by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, and Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac have to have taken those over prior, this is the key, prior to May 31st, 2009. So that's on or before May 31st, 2009. They need to have taken over and securitized your mortgage. Now that means you probably had to close on your current mortgage then on or before, call it March or April 2009 at the latest. So the thing that I am a little miffed by that the White House did make a change on, that if you were aggressive and you did the right thing and were proactive to take advantage of the first HARP rules that were put out in 2009 and you refinanced after May of 2009, they won't let you take advantage of these new changes, which gets me a little bit actually upset that we don't open this up to everybody. So some of the people who were proactive are now penalized with some of the people who took their time can now benefit from it. That's the kind of stuff that I don't get. But either way, what we're trying to do is help everybody. So the people that have been hurt the most, the people that are underwater, we should be able to take advantage of these new rules. Now, I will warn you on one thing, that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac will have their underwriting models on the computers, the underwriting engines updated, as I said, of March 19th. But we are finding that a lot of banks aren't going to release the doors on funding and allowing and servicing these mortgages, facilitating it is the word that I've been using lately, these mortgages, until after everything is out. So it may take us a couple weeks after that. So I'm guessing by the beginning of April, we're going to have all of our ducks lined up for us to be able to help people. Now again, this means that you can be underwater today with these new revisions, unlimited. You could be in a situation where you owe more on your house than it's currently worth, and we can help do this refinance. But the catch is that we've got to make sure your loan is currently held by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, and we've got to secondly make sure that you're in a position where that mortgage was originated prior and securitized by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac prior to May 31st, 2009. Drop me a line with any questions. Obviously, reach out to me to do the research to see if your loan is held by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac and see if you can take advantage of this. Gang, I've never seen interest rates this low, with interest rates on a 30-year fixed in the low 4s, even creaming into, sliding into, I should say, the high 3s. It's been an incredible time for us to look at this and help people. Gang, it's important too. I think most people maybe don't understand how valuable this is. I mean, a 1% savings in interest rate on a $200,000 loan is $2,000 a year that you're going to save. $2,000 a year for the next 30 years. If you're so lucky to get a 2% reduction in interest rate on a $200,000 loan, that's $4,000 a year. This is real money, big savings that we've got to help people take advantage of. Again, as I keep saying, the silver lining to all this uncertainty in the economy is these low interest rates, and let's take advantage of it. I heard one person call this the greatest gift to the middle class in a long time, are these low interest rates that people can take advantage of and take advantage from. The second thing that I want to make sure I point out to you is FHA loans. FHA, obviously if you have an FHA loan, that's not backed by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, it's backed by HUD. FHA loans had a big announcement yesterday by the president. The president came out and has said that they've agreed to lower mortgage insurance premiums when you go to refinance. Typically when you go to do a refinance today from an FHA loan to an FHA loan, it's called a streamlined refinance, but you would have to pay 1% up front and 1.25% on an annual basis every year thereafter. Very steep, obviously, on a $200,000 loan. That is $2,000 up front and $2,500 a year every year thereafter. Well, they've come out and said they're allowing clients that have FHA loans securitized by FHA currently, again with that same date on or before May 31st, 2009, to do a same kind of refinance, to take advantage of where we're at. And with the FHA streamlines, again, we don't even need an appraisal on those, so you can be upside down on that as well. But the savings here, they agreed to eliminate a huge cost of that monthly and upfront mortgage insurance. That now, instead of the $2,000 upfront, it's only $20 upfront on a $200,000 loan. And then instead of $2,500 a year annually, it would only be $1,100 a year. So a huge cut in the mortgage insurance costs upfront and annually, or monthly, however you want to call that. It's a big deal. So what we now need to do is reach out to everyone that's got an FHA mortgage and say it's probably time for you to do that. Now, the date on this was just announced yesterday, so the government needs their time, unfortunately. So the date on this is June 11th of 2012. We can start doing these refinances. But again, word of caution that your FHA loan has to have been endorsed by FHA prior to May 31st, 2009. And we typically see a 30-day, in some cases 60-day delivery time for them too. So again, that's probably putting you back to like April or March of 2009. If you have an FHA loan on or before then it's really going to make sense starting in June to take advantage of this too. So we've cautioned a lot of people on waiting to see if this comes out. We're excited that it finally came out, and obviously now in a position where starting in June for FHAs and here in a couple weeks, March 19th, for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac loans, we can really start to help a lot of underwater homeowners take advantage of these low interest rates. So I applaud the government for doing what they do. There's some asterisks next to it, so we've got to watch it. Everything's got to be custom nowadays to your specific situation. So reach out to me. I will leave here, as I always do, my direct line and my email address, so you can contact me either by phone or email, which is most convenient for me. Let's start a dialogue to see if these plans will help you take advantage of these low rates, even if you're underwater. Hope you enjoyed this Connor Keys Corner. We're trying to do everything possible in cooperation with the government to help as many people as we can lock into these low interest rates. But these are two big programs that should allow us to help a lot of people. Hope you enjoyed this Connor Keys Corner. We'll talk to you next time.